Hello, my creative friends. My name is Heather North. You can find me on Instagram at Heather's Creative Blessings. Today is Wednesday, September 15th, 2021, and this is Flosstube number 35. So for the month of September, you can expect me to be more every other week than every week. I may do a video next week, but the week after then I won't do a video. There's just a lot I want to share with you. But I'm also really busy right now, and I don't have a ton of, or I didn't have a ton of stitching done last week at all. There just wasn't time for it. And so I did put a few X's in every night because it's kind of how I de-stress from the day, but not enough to really share. So yeah, this week though, I've been making up for it a little bit. This weekend is going to be another busy one. I'll talk about that more coming up when I share my Stitchy stash and stuff that came in. I also have even more going on the week after that. So it'll be hit and miss. Don't worry about me if I don't post a video. Everything's okay. You can, of course, comment on this video or any of them. Or you can message me on Instagram. And I will probably respond to that quicker, just depending on where I am and what I'm doing. I tend to look at the comments from YouTube when I'm on my laptop. And my phone, though, posts up notifications anytime somebody comments or does something sends messaging on Instagram or Facebook. So I tend to just have, if I'm out and about, I'll have my phone with me and be more likely to see that. If I'm at home and on my laptop, I might be more likely to see the YouTube. So we'll just see. Anyways, reach out to me if you need to or if you have any questions. So last weekend, on top of it being WIPGO weekend, so I have my WIPGO project to share with you. My husband and I did a covered bridges tour with our car club. It's the first overnight tour for sure we've done since 2019. So it was really fun to go out and experience something different. I'd never seen those bridges before. They're in the Springfield, Eugene, Oregon area. And we also went to Silver Falls State Park. I think it was a state park. Which was really beautiful. We didn't have enough time there. I want to go back and really do a walk through the area, and I think there was 11 waterfalls. I could be wrong. There was different numbers. But going when the water's really running and raging would be cool as well. But it was just a fun time. We're all in our own cars, so you know, it's easy to, you know, to not share our germs, let's say that. But we do have radio, so we radio back and forth and we can talk to each other while we're driving. And it was couples, so, you know, it was just a lot of fun. It was good to get out and do something different, but I didn't get hardly any stitching done. I did, however, and I'll talk about this when I get to that point, I do have a 9/11 start. So 9/11, it's been 20 years since we were attacked, and so commemorated that, but I'll share more about that when we get to what I've been stitching. I have 2 finishes, FFOs, to share with you, and I think I've got new starts and finishes, so let's just hop right into it. Okay, 3 minutes in, 4 minutes almost in. All right, so WIPGO weekend, last weekend. I had met my WIPGO goals early, so one of the pieces was Merry Christmas by Cherry Hill Stitchery. That was already finished, completely done. I may try an FFO it this month, but I doubt it because I'm not quite in that Christmas mood. So I think it'd be easier to FFO it when I get into that Christmassy mood. But if the weather changes and I'm feeling all the feels, I may get to it. The other project is Quaker Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Mathews. My goal for the month was to do 3 snowflakes or motifs. I finished that early. I was close to having it done, and technically I had 3 snowflakes done, but I was close to having that done before September even started. So I revamped my goals for the weekend, and I wanted to get, I think it was 3 small snowflakes, but I did it on Friday before we left, because the WIPGO weekend's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I thought technically, yeah. When we got home on Sunday, I think I put another length or two of thread in here. This is on Scotsman 16 count Ada. That's not what the tag says, but I'm trying to do the math and figure out. 16 count Ada from Be Stitch Me, Brandy at Be Stitch Me. And I fell in love with this color when I saw it, people showing it on YouTube, and so I just had to get this color too. So it's gonna compete with my blue shirt. This is kind of close. There's a little bit more of a teal color in here that it's reading very blue, which it is blue, but it's got a little bit of that green in it. But what I had done, hold on. What I had done was kind of this area here and about a half or 3/4 of that one motif. So I finished that motif. I added in the other little snowflakes. This is a small, these are tiny, medium. And then I started in on this one as well. So I definitely got five things done, I think, over the weekend, the WIPGO weekend. So met my goal. I'm going to keep going because this is the only WIPGO project I have this month. So this will be my Wednesdays, pulling down on Wednesdays. But it's good because Wednesdays are now super busy. In fact, here's another little tidbit. I probably won't be filming on Wednesdays. When I do film for at least the next several weeks, maybe the next month or 2 months, because I've got meetings on Wednesday mornings. It just makes it hard to try and get it all in, and I'm tired. So I might just change the day that I film. We'll see. Anywho, there's my progress on Quaker Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Mathews. And I'll pull it out on Wednesdays and put at least a length of thread in until I get it done. I have this on my WIPGO board again for this month. WIPGO for this month. WIPGO goals for the year. And my second goal is to get 5 snowflakes or motifs done. And I did some counting, and there's actually a total of 8 of these big motifs. So if I kind of changed it, and it depends on when this is called. If this is called and it's a really busy month like December, if it's anytime, I guess it'd be October or November, maybe it could be done. Because life kind of slows down and settles down up here during those months. But if I did 3, so I've already got 1 and part of 2 done. If I got 3 of these big motifs done, and then I did the 5 big motifs that are left when it gets called again, I could conceivably get this finished. Well, probably not this year, but maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. There's too many other things I want to start. So, but I would, because it isn't just, although it does say glad tidings, it feels more wintry than Christmassy. I still will keep this out into January, maybe February. So if it isn't done this year, it could conceivably be done early next year. All right. Next up is, I did a little more stitching on Liberty Inn by Plum Street Samplers. It's kind of a sideways pattern. I love this so much. I'm a quilter, so I just love the quilting stars that they put on the house itself. This is on 28 count Lugana Driftwood, in the color Driftwood, by Color and Cotton. And it's upside down. Hopefully I'm not showing you the back like I did in the last video. Okay. Let's go. That's probably truer color back there, but I'll go up close so you can kind of see what I did. I got a little more done on the house, and then I started adding it could be bunting, or it could be like quilts or blankets or something on the gate or the fence, but I started adding in those colors as well. And I don't think I had done the window up here. Oh, it is so hard to get this here. Hold on, this probably need to cut this piece down, but I don't like to cut it down until I go all the way across and all the way to the top to make sure I've got enough of a border. Okay, that's pretty good. The color is totally off, but that's the height of the house, and then you have the roof. So I'm getting close to where I can cut this piece down a little bit. I love it, love it, love it. I think I don't know what I was going to say. I was thinking I'm missing one of the colors in this. I've come across lately, which for a while I wasn't. I was finding all the colors, but I'm coming across difficulty finding a few colors. And I'm not sure if it was on this one. Maybe not. Cherry bark. I don't know. Anyways, I need to double check them. See if I have all of the floss colors I need for this. And if not, I need to look and do some more ordering. Where do you guys get your floss from when the standard place doesn't have it in stock? I called Acorns and Threads. One of the colors I need wasn't for this, but for another pattern. It's Gentle Arts Old Brick. Oh, it is for that. So the color I need is Gentle Arts Garden Gate, because I'm using that. That's the color that was called for the fence and the gate. And I don't know if it's anywhere else. If it is, there's just not enough of it. And if it's for the roof, I definitely don't have enough. And we'll have to change my color. But I can't find Garden Gate nor Old Brick from Gentle Arts. So if you know where to find that, will you let me know? Please. Acorns and Threads didn't have Old Brick. I need to call again and see if they have Garden Gate. Or maybe I should call Keepsakes and see what they have. So the next thing I have here is September sampler of the month, September sampler from Cottage Needleworks. I have not been working on this as much as I should have, but I did get some done. I don't think I had the leaves in last time. I do have the leaves now, and I have the September word. So this is the big section. Once I get this, it kind of motivates me to get the rest done, because then it's just repeating what's on top. And it's just 3 short sections that I kind of have already done, so I kind of have some of that muscle memory, but I need to get through that little cute little schoolhouse. All right, that's that one. And it's September 15th, so it's not too bad. If I get that knocked out by this weekend, I could get, in the next 2 weeks, I could get the rest of September done. I mean, I could just work on only that and definitely get it done. So I have been traveling. One of the things I've been taking with me sometimes, well, not necessarily travel. I did do a little bit of traveling. We stayed in a hotel. That's the first time in a long time. But just going places and possibly waiting, I've been taking this with me. So I do have a few more stitches that I put in here, but not very much. This poor fresh cut pattern, it's by It's So Emma. It's really easy. I mean, it's not a difficult pattern, and I got it in the Stitch Quarterly thing club, and so it came with all of the floss, and I'm using the called for floss, and it came with Ada, and Ada is so easy to stitch on now that I've been stitching on other things, unless there's half stitches or you know, some kind of specialty stitch. Ada is so easy because it's just these big squares that you count over. So I've been having fun stitching on Ada more this summer than I had for a while. But it just seems like I just get the thread in, and I just get my needle threaded and start, and I get called in for whatever it is I'm doing. So, anywho, this is what I have. I think, well, I know there's some because I stitched on it yesterday, and I got like, oh, maybe 10 stitches in where you can see the needles in. And then my number was called, and so I went back and didn't get any more done. But that's where I am on fresh cut. It's really driving me crazy too that it's not done. I might need to pull out a different in the car project. All right, so I have here a couple of things. I'm just going to show you. This has freebie charts in here from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. So if you go to her website, Melissa has a bunch of free patterns that she has offered. And so I have printed out all of her, I've printed out several from her, but in here is all of her bee skeps and bee type patterns, maybe sunflowers. And then I also have, I'll just show you, let's see. Don't want to give away too much of the pattern. This is from Hands-On Design, and it's meant to be, and it kind of has that honeycomb. So, and I'm going to print out, I have some stitching with the Housewives that I need to put in here too. But I've kind of been on this bee and sunflower kick because I want to have some of them up around my house, and because I'm seeing it in the stores and I'm liking the colors. It's more of the lighter yellow or brighter yellow than that mustard color, and I really like that. So I attempted to make a couple of bags. Here's one that you can see the inside of. I'm not really liking the vinyl that I used. I like the vinyl I used on my Mayflower bag better, so I need to go find some more of that. And I think the size is just a little bit too big. And I tried a different way of binding. This is the self-binding, which I've done before, but I didn't do that on my last bag that I made, my last couple bags. And I found that with this vinyl, that was a difficult task. So I made 2 of these. One, it just holds patterns that I haven't started on yet, and then I need to add a little thingy to. The other one is here, and this one I did in a different color. It's kind of that gray barnwood-esque. And I added this little charm. I want to say I picked these up at either Mychal's or Hobby Lobby, because those are the 2 places I went that day. And I have several charts in here. Let me take all this out so you can see. This has a little bee skep. This one I quilted. I'm not 100% thrilled with it, but it was fun to get out the sewing machine again and be at the sewing machine again and get some stitches in. And I do have some more fabric that's different than this to make more bags. So this was kind of my practice session to start out with. And I'll show you the others in just a oh, well, I won't show you. I didn't bring the other fabric down. If I make it, I'll show you the bags I make. Let me put some of this back in here because I don't want my threads going all over the place. So one of the things I have started doing is just keeping this, I don't know if I've showed this, but floss drops are pretty popular, right? So I kind of just did the same sort of thing, except I haven't bought a bunch of floss drops. I just bought these little 1.5 to 2 inch, I think they're called binder rings, or I think they're called binder rings that you just open and you can put your floss drops on. I always punch an extra hole, you can see here, to put, actually I was doing 2 holes all the time. I might switch to just 1 because I'm kind of changing how I pull out the thread, but I punch an extra hole so I can put the leftover or the piece that's usable of thread, because some are too small to even be used, in those little holes. So I have these on here, and I just tied a little ribbon on top, and then the extras can be on their own that haven't been started yet. That way I'm not starting and pulling thread from a bunch of different things. But I am finding that I'm kind of using the same or similar colors in a lot of these projects. So it just makes sense to kind of have them all together in a project bag. And if I need to, I could color code, but I think it kind of just, it's working for me, so I'll keep it like that. This is the August calendar crates from Stitching with the Housewives. It comes with the large and the small. The small is right over there, FFO, and I'll show that in just a second. I finished that and then I pulled out the large. I need to look up though. This fabric didn't have a label on it, so I'm not 100% sure on it. Oh, that lost its little sticker. On the color. But I think it's Aqua Hand Dyed Effects from Fabric Flare. I'm 99% sure it's Fabric Flare. And 90% sure, I think, it's 28 count Lugana. I'm fairly sure it's 28 count Lugana. Could be 32, but I think it's 28 count. Anyways, enough rambling. It's just a light blue. It's not, the color is just not showing up here. But I've got one side of the sunflowers done. Started on the chimney and the roof. Started up here on the other side. And got all the way down. This is going to be the bottom where the bee skep is. Now, I changed a few colors in this, and you'll see it even more in that other one that is coming up. I think it called for bamboo. It did. And bamboo was too light. It was just getting lost, that white. So I switched it to tea and biscuits on this one. I still had the bamboo on the other, and I debated on pulling it out and restitching it, but decided just to add a few little bamboos in here in different places. But the tea and biscuits definitely shows up better down there. And then the other thing is the wings. So this is what I did on the other, that small one, is I changed the wings to Classic Colorworks Rain Shower. And I kind of wish I had done Rain Shower with one thread instead of 2 over 2, done 1 over 2. But I didn't, and I'm not pulling it out. I'm like, finally I just had to tell myself, this is not like an heirloom quality type of a thing. This is just a fun, quick stitch that will go up for maybe a few weeks, a month out of the year. I mean, it's not gonna be, it's not worth restitching. I'm just learning as I go, right? Sometimes my OCD kicks in and takes over, so we'll just see what happens. But I did change the wings to that. It would have been fine in the tea and biscuits as well, but I hadn't decided to use tea and biscuits yet. But yeah, I'm making good progress on this. I've spent probably more time working on sunflowers than anything else. The next thing, I need to take this out of the plastic because that sticker is kind of covering up what it is. Just so you can see where I'm at and what I have left to do. There's a little ways to go. And this is the small. Again, the bamboo was not working for me, so I changed the colors of the word to Milady's Teal. And all of them will be finished the same way, the way that she has on the back of, I should say they, the Stitching with Housewives, have on the back of their patterns, as well as on Priscilla's blog. But this, make sure it's kind of straight-ish. There we go. Sunflower seeds and honeybees. It barely fit side to side. Yeah, I love it. So you can see I changed the words to blue, and then this is Straw Hat, I believe, which might be a color change as well. I may have, yeah, I used Straw Hat in the center of some of, I'm not really sure. I think I used Straw Hat in the center of some of those little flowers. They're more like daisies than sunflowers, but some I also used the called for cocoa bean from Classic Colorworks. You can see how I did the bees in a different color. the thing is, when you change a color, so the Stitching with the Housewives, Priscilla and Chelsea stitch on black chalkboard looking, for a chalkboard look. They stitch on black. They stitch on Monaco, but it can be done with whatever fabric you like. And it does. It looks like a chalkboard. There's a lot of white. But when you change the color, and in this case I change it to a lighter color, you end up having to change other colors in order to make it work. And I don't mind that. I think it's kind of fun and challenging, but sometimes it's annoying because I just think if I did it the way they did it, I would be done by now. It'd be so much easier. But that is my first FFO. Got another one back there. But we're still on sunflowers. So let's pull out the next thing. Last time I shared my video, I showed you this one that I have finished. I don't have it here with me, but it is Kind Words by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And then this week, as soon as I finished that, I started on this one, and that is Bumblebee Kisses, also by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I think I'm using mostly the called for. Let me go back one more and see if I changed. Oh, I did. I lie. I'm sorry. I changed DMC 729 to Classic Colorworks Honeycomb, which is what I've been using here as well. I used, instead of DMC 782, I did Classic Colorworks Straw Hat. And instead of DMC 3820, I used Finley Gold. Part of the reason is it's what I had in stock. In my house, in my stash. Part of it was just, I didn't want to go to the store and get the DMC I needed. And part of it was, since I don't do a whole lot of yellow stitching or kind of the fall autumn color stitching, I just use what I had in stash because I get more and more of it. Being in some of the clubs, I get colors I don't use all that often, so it just made sense to use what I had, right? Okay, so this is on that same Malted Milk by Lori Holt. It's a 14 count Aida. Oh my gosh, it was so easy stitching on the Aida. Oh my goodness, I was like, why did I change to something different? But sorry, it is wrinkly. The Malted Milk is just the perfect color for this. And I almost did it for the calendar crates, but this is definitely white. So I knew that there would be a lot more color changing that I would have to do. But I love this. And I'm in love with the DMC 3813, which is that light shade of blue. It's a really pretty color. I think I have ordered, there's another Primrose Cottage Stitches that has kind of a fall theme. I've either ordered it or it's sitting in my cart on one of the sites to get, because I like their stitching. It's easy to follow, nice big print on the charts, and they do a wonderful job of putting colors together. So that was in this, which was too small, but I just hear that. A wise woman once said, "I'm out of here," and she lived happily ever after. I have a hard time with saying no or stopping or quitting. I feel like you got to keep doing it forever and ever and ever. And if I have volunteered for something or obligated myself, I always need to see it through. But when it's something that doesn't have an end date, it can be difficult to just say, I got to let this go. And I did that last year with a few things and quit one of my volunteer positions. And it felt so good to release that. It was so much work and it was such a drain on me. And I didn't volunteer because of something I necessarily wanted to do. It was more just there was a need and I needed help. And it was something that my husband was involved in. And so, you know, I wanted to do it with him. But there was such a relief. So sometimes it's okay to let things go. I need to remember this in cross stitching because I have a lot of started this, I'm not really feeling it, but I can't let it go. I know that Stephanie of Just Keep Stitching, Pam Steph, Stephanie has restarted several, I think it was last spring, she restarted several of her projects because she had changed the cloth count that she used, and she had discovered this whole other world of I think of just higher count fabric, and then on top of that, realizing that when you start something and the colors aren't quite working, maybe you need to change the fabric that it's on. And so she restarted a bunch of hers, and I just thought that was brilliant, and I need to do that too. If something's not working, either figure out why it's not working or just release it and not do it anymore. So it's just a whole different mindset than kind of what I was raised with. Sorry, that might have been a little too deep on the floss stitch video. Okay, just one more time, because how stinking cute is this? It's a sunflower and a bumblebee. Okay. For someone who doesn't love yellow, it's funny how much yellow I am doing lately. It works in season, okay? It's almost fall. And can I just say, this is one of my hauls for brush focus. I think I got that from Marshall's, but I could be... Yeah, I kept the tag on. It's from Marshall's. Like, how stinking cute. I wanted to get two and put it in the living room, but the dogs and their fur, yeah, no. So I just decided this could be cute in my office. It's not beachy, but yeah, the color works. Totally works. All right, back to cross stitch. Sorry, squirrel. This is Sail Away by Fat Quarter Shop. It was a mystery stitch along that is now no longer a mystery. That I need to get a better, here's a better picture. Here we go. This will show the whole thing. So I am using the Color and Cotton thread. I love Color and Cotton. I love their fabric. I love their thread. I like that it has just enough variation to add shadow and light to your project without having to change your thread many different times to get that effect with something like DMC. So what did I do on this? I think I just finished out the lighthouse window, and I did a little more stitching on there. Maybe a few more chains on here. Not really sure. Didn't do a whole lot, but I did pull it out, so I thought I would share. Gosh, it's really wrinkly. I would iron it before sharing it to be all professional, but really it's going to get wrinkled again, and I don't want to iron it a bunch of times in between. So sorry, you guys, it's wrinkly. All right. And I'm almost getting past the beach summer things, and may have to go to, not have to, but I'm really starting to get almost that itch for autumn. And so I may put my beach things away for a while and just have one a month that I pull out. All right, what is this? Okay, this is my 9/11 start. So, like I said, it has been 20 years since the airplanes flew into the Twin Towers, and Flight 93 went down, and the Pentagon was attacked. It seems crazy to me that it has been 20 years, because like many of you, I remember that day very well. I remember getting woken up at something like 5:30 in the morning. I live on the West Coast, so I'm trying to remember the time differences. But a friend of mine, my son's best friend's mom called me and said, "Heather, have you seen the news?" And I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not awake. She said, "You need to turn on the news." So I got off the phone, turned on the TV, and just sat stunned going, what am I seeing, as that smoke was coming out of the first tower. And then as I'm watching, the plane flies into the second tower, and I think I suddenly knew what my mom had experienced in her generation when John F. Kennedy got shot. It's that moment in time where everything shifts and time shifts. And some definite heroes were born that day and went to heaven that day. And so I remember the "we will never forget" saying going around, and I thought, it's been 20 years. For me, it doesn't seem like that long. For my son, who's only 21 years old, he only remembers through the stories. And I think it's important for us to know our history and to keep it remembered. Let's just say that. And so I wanted to do a stitch to kind of commemorate that it has been 20 years, that I haven't forgotten, and say a prayer over those who lost loved ones that day. Thankfully, we didn't know anybody that was on any of those flights or in any of those locations. But it's still, as an American, it's part of us, and part of us was lost that day, but a lot was also gained that day. And so I decided to do, I found out, excuse me, sorry, I gotta stop crying in these videos. Woo! We need some more happiness. Here, I'll do this so maybe my eyes stop watering. Okay, so I found out about this, and I had seen it before. I had wanted to stitch it. I didn't know the meaning behind it. But when I discovered that it was written for, I'm going to read what they have to say because it's better than what I would say, for 9/11 as a remembrance. This is Mychal's prayer. Go a little bit closer. By Silver Creek Samplers. So I'm going to read what they wrote on the back here. I think her name is Diane. Yeah, Diane, that was the designer. Mychal Judge, 5/11/33 to 9/11/01, was a Franciscan friar and Catholic priest who served as a chaplain to the New York City Fire Department. While serving in that capacity, he was killed, becoming the first certified fatality of the September 11th, 2001 attacks. The inspiration for this sampler came from a prayer said by Father Mychal. Quote, "Lord, take me where you want me to go. Let me meet who you want me to meet. Tell me what to say and keep me out of your way." Pretty perfect, right? And I know a lot of people have already stitched this. I was not cross-stitching at the time or in any kind of group or knew anybody else who cross-stitched. So this is new to me. I'm trying to look at the date that it might have been released. Maybe one of you knows. I'm not seeing it here at a quick glance. But I had wanted to do that because I just thought the saying was so wonderful, especially the part of "tell me what you want me to say and tenderly keep me out of your way." Amen. Because, yes, Lord, keep me out of your way. Oh, but to know that it was for 9/11. So even though I was busy, even though I was out of town, even though I didn't have a good setup, I knew that I needed and wanted to start this. And this is the piece that is missing, Old Brick by Gentle Arts. So I think, oh, let me ask you guys, because maybe you know. Pull this out to remind me to ask you guys what a good substitute would be. So this is on Artemis. I think this is one that I won in a giveaway that Brandy, again, from Stitch Me, did on one of her Friday Night Fight nights. I think this was a giveaway that I won. It's 16 count Ada. The color is Artemis, which is a bluish color. So I am having to change a few of the colors just to have them show up a little bit different. Liberty, this is almost the same color as Liberty, so I might not be using that at all. But this is the start. I started with the eagle at midnight on 9/11/21. And then I finished him on 9/11. So before I went to bed, I made sure I finished him. And then over the weekend, when I got home, and then this week, I've added the greenery and the vines. So that's Mychal's prayer. I don't know what my plan is for this so much. Whether I will keep it out and keep working on it, or whether it will be something I bring out again on 9/11. Maybe I'll bring it out on Veterans Day. Yeah. I don't want to get political, so I don't want to say too much. Maybe. Let me show you these. Okay. Let me show you. Because I definitely know people who signed up. That was, yeah. Okay. So the color Old Brick. Any of you that have Old Brick, or if you just have an opinion, you can please share. The main color, the red color on her dress, is this ruby slipper. Excuse me. And the bottom of her dress kind of has a little bit of pink to it. So I am thinking either Tennessee Red Clay, which is a little bit darker of the two, or Colonial Rose to go with this. So what do you think? The Tennessee Red Clay or the Colonial Rose? And let me show you one more time what the dress is like. So this is this bottom portion of the dress where it says 9/11/01. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it still. So I don't know. Old Brick, to me, it looks like it has some pink into it. I looked at Used Brick by Classic Colorworks as well, and I can't tell you what. I think it was too dark in compare, or too close to this color. I don't know. It didn't look quite right. So I'm thinking, do I do kind of that medium shade or the lighter shade to have it look similar to that? Please comment below. Let me know. I do like changing the colors, but oh my goodness, do I second guess and third guess and fourth guess myself. Way too much. Okay, so those are all my whips, new starts, and a couple of finishes. And then this is my second FFO. Ooh. So I showed you the September sampler of the month. This is the August sampler of the month. And this piece, I do have it. I got this at Hobby Lobby. Can you see that? Let me read it for you. It's the Wood Pile Fun 13042111. And I got it 50% off, because you got to wait for these things to be 50% off, right? And I like how it has kind of that wood. This reminded me so much of our fence. It was like rotted away in places. This would be the bottom of the fence, and then you go to the top part where it's connected, and it would be all... Anyways, I thought about just using the fence, but I didn't want to sand it and do all that work. So, yeah, I spent, what was it, $350 for one that was already done. I did a fabric border here. I think I did a little bit of batting. I did some rope. It's just like twine is what it is. And then I tied it into a knot on the side. Up here, these are items from the beach that I have been to. There's a couple of agates from Agate Beach in Trinidad, California. It's at Patrick's Point State Park, my favorite place in the whole world. Wish I lived closer. And then sand dollars from a beach in, I think this was from Westport, Washington. It's definitely from Washington. And then some random seashells also from the beaches around. At least one of them is from Cannon Beach in Oregon, and I think Long Beach maybe as well, or Ocean Shores. But yeah, that one is definitely from Westport. We went one day and they were just, sand dollars were everywhere. And so, yeah, I brought some home. I thought it was so cool to walk along the beach and see sand dollars, and they weren't just broken, because I've seen sand dollars, but they're usually broken up. This is just perfect. And I might add some more. I've got some sea glass from Glass Beach in Fort Bragg, California, but it wasn't in my little container with all of these. So I need to look and see. It's actually, as weird as it may sound, it's in a box in my closet. I've got some like just special memory type things in that box. So I need to go grab it and maybe add a few more. This was an ornament. I'm not sure where I got it. I think it was Artco or Craft Warehouse, but I can't swear to that. I had to kind of clip off, and I use my garden clippers to clip off the back because this anchor thing was sticking straight up. I'd like to find where I got it because I'd like to get another one. I had it sitting in that box right up there, and now I had to use it. So I'd like to find another one, put it back in there. And I added a charm to the center. That wasn't part of it, but I added a little charm. So, I haven't talked about this one enough. This may go in my room here, but I also have another spot in our main living area. So I'm not sure where it will go. Look at the agates. Agates are like, they're kind of like clear rocks with white on them. Seashells? Okay. Of course, there's the stitching. But it just holds all that I love. Oh, the other thing, I changed, instead of saying August, I made up clouds because I wanted to be able to keep this out year round in here. And throughout most of the summer, if I do put it in the rest of the house. Actually, there's a spot right across from me that'd be perfect. Anyways, this one's FFO. All right, all I have left is my Stitchy stash and Happy Mail, which will also include kind of the plans. The first thing, I don't want this to all slip and fall. It's very slippery right now. Stay. Is this adorable card from my niece, Mychal. My parents were up here. I got some things for her and sent them home with my mom and dad, and so she came over and she was playing with them, and she had Nana is what they call mom, what all of the grandkids call my mom, but she had Nana take her to the store, and she picked out a card, and then she wrote her name, it's from Mychal, and added the stickers. So stinking cute. Anybody else have a niece or nephew? Oh, so much fun. So I'll read it to you. It says, it's like you took a scoop of chocolate ice cream and poured some caramel on it, then some fudge, sprinkled some candy pieces, another layer of fudge, a dollop of cream, and topped it off with a cherry. What you did was that sweet. Thank you. Love, Mychal. And she wrote Auntie Heather. So here's the inside. I mean, could you just... She's 5 years old. She turns 6 in October, but so it just opens. You can see more. You can see more. Just adorable. It made my week, I have to say. I love getting mail. Okay. The other thing, these are kind of kit. There's kit things, and then there's a special event thing. So first the the clubs I'm in. This is November calendar crates and the floss. Ooh. I didn't mean ooh bad, I meant ooh good. I thought that color might have been one that I needed, but it's not. I'm very excited to start stitching this one. This is the November calendar crates from Stitching with the Housewives. I don't know if I said that or if I'm repeating myself. But it is so cool with the fall leaves. It's farm fresh cranberries, thankful and blessed. And this is the board. I mean, I'm finishing mine kind of in the same way. Probably different things in here. And I left the metal basket thing on. And we'll see if I can get these to finish on it or in it. I will do that. I really like how Chelsea painted this because it comes in a darker wood, but I like the look of that whitewash, so I may do that with mine as well. So I got this because I'm in the Calendar Crates Club. And then I got the new Floss Fix. So if you haven't seen yours yet, look away, but you probably have seen yours because, you know, I got it yesterday or the day before, and it'll be a couple days before I do it out. So these are all of the color. Well, that's not gonna work. It's like the color of my hair. Let me pull this. We'll try that. They're just beautiful shades of brown. And I'll read you the colors. Chai, Brown Hen, Straw Hat, Little House Brown, Stepping Stones, and Cocoa Bean. And I am still getting new colors of these that I haven't gotten before. So I'm going to stay in this club at least a little while longer. I think once I get to the point where where there's a lot of repeats, I might stop getting them, because once I see the colors in person, I can just order what I need, right? But I'm still building my collection, and this is a great way if you're trying to build your collection of overdyed floss. Join one of the clubs that are up there. Fat Quarter Shop has several. Annie's Crazy Annie Stitching has one. Color and Cotton has one. The different brands probably have their own. I've seen Annie the Joy-Filled Stitcher has shared a couple of different floss clubs. Vicki Clayton, I believe, has one as well for her silks. There's lots of them out there, and it's a great way to get to see the colors that are available and get just a little bit at a time. It's also, and you know, building up your stash and have things on hand. It's also really smart if there's a company you find that you really, really like the colors of. So Color and Cotton is the next one I am thinking about joining. I dropped the Weeks Dye Works because I find I don't gravitate towards those. I use them if they are called for, but I have enough of those, I think, that I have learned I prefer Color and Cotton and Classic Colorworks, so the 4 C's. But those seem to be what I have been using the most and what I gravitate to when I'm pulling my own colors. So, and I've got quite a collection now of those Weeks Dye Works between being in that club, the Floss Club, and getting patterns that call for them. So from now on, I'll just be building it by when a pattern calls for it, I'll get that color and either use it or I'll have it in my stash to know what color it is. Okay, the other thing, and this is not the last. Oh my goodness. This is the sampler of the month for October. So now I've shown you August, September in progress, and October. Very cute. I can't tell what those are. Are they little cats or little scarecrows? I'm sorry. I have to pull out the pattern because, I mean, that's hard to see anyways, but I think they're little cats. How stinking cute. And pumpkins, or pokins, as Mychal used to say. Ugh. My kid was so cute. Okay, and then the Stitch Quarterly came. And I really like this bag. It has kind of that chevron-ish look to it. It's a green, a lighter green. And it came with all kinds of goodies. It has the pale gray gingham, which I can see why everyone's kind of raving about it. Great for summer and fall stitching. Whoopsies, whoopsies. It came with the Autumn Splendor. Sorry. Oh, I just noticed there's a needle in there. I didn't notice that before. This is the pattern. It's exclusive to the Stitch Quarterly Club for a certain amount of time, and then the pattern will be released separately. But I think they had a few leftovers of the kits. Maybe people's credit card didn't go through or they canceled their membership. So you may still be able to get this if you go to the Fat Quarter Shop's website. I'm not sure on that though. Don't hold me to that. It came with a John James needle, a adorable, I mean, so stinking cute acorn. And this happens a lot with the Stitch Quarterly. I don't realize that there's a needle because I don't see it. It's just attached to the back. There's that. There's that. This is the called for threads. And this is called the thimble pad. It's a little round circle of leather with sticky behind it. So you just stick that on your finger and then you can push the needle through without poking yourself or getting calluses. I use this religiously when I am putting on the bindings on my quilts. I've discovered after watching Missouri Star Quilt Company, they have a wonderful binding tutorial. So if you want to learn how to bind, look up Missouri Star Quilt Company binding tutorial. And she got me to start binding by hand instead of by machine, and it looks so much better by hand. But using the needle you need to get through that fabric is even harder on your fingers than the cross stitch. So I definitely have used these so many times. And when my finger gets sore, or if I find myself using, I think it's the Bowen needles that are kind of a little bit pointier and sharper for me, I will put one of these on to kind of save my finger. So this was included in there. Love it. Use it. I don't use it as much for cross stitching. It just doesn't seem to be an issue for me, but if I need it, I do have them and use them. And if you find that your fingers are getting sore, definitely try that out. Love this bag. Love it. All right, the next thing, oh, I left it. Where did I leave it? I was gonna bring it with me down here. I think I even pulled it out to bring it, and I don't know where I left it. But this weekend is Friendstitch. If you stayed with me this long, I am doing the afternoon session, which technically is morning because we log into the Zoom at 11:45 a.m. Pacific. I'm just saying. I'm on the West Coast. It's going to be so much fun. There was no way I think the other one's at 9 a.m. So I would have had to log in at what, 5:45 a.m. for the 6 a.m. West Coast. I'm not a morning person. Ask my husband. Don't talk to me in the morning. I am a night owl and I feel most creative at night, but I'm excited for it. I debated on whether to go through with it because something came up with the family and I just thought, oh, and I went back and forth and I thought I signed up for this because I needed something for me. And I'm going to follow through and do this and have fun. So for Friendstitch, they sent out, we could order fabric ahead, and I kind of wasn't paying attention. I just signed up because I needed something for me. And I got a little bit confused, but I think I ordered both add-on fabrics, I think maybe, or I added the extra because I wasn't sure. Everything's a mystery. I wasn't sure. Do I want to stitch on Ada or do I want to stitch on linen? At the time, I think maybe I just started stitching on linen or hadn't stitched very much. So I wasn't really sure I could handle it, not knowing what the pattern was. So I have both of those. I didn't realize they sent out, so I did realize this, they sent out an email with the freebie small stitch. I think it's called Autumn Gathering Small, or Autumn Sampler, Gathering Sampler. I apologize so much. But it was a small little sampler. They sent it out and I just I had to get it started that day. I could not wait. I actually sent a message and I asked them, I shared this before when I showed the piece that I finished, but I asked them, is there certain fabric we're going to be doing this on? Is there a finish size it should be? Is it okay to do it on different fabric? Because we're not supposed to open the kit for the retreat until the retreat. So I was like, how are we supposed to stitch it ahead of time? And is it okay to share this if we get it done early? And all those questions. And then I decided it's just such a quick, easy stitch. It looked like something that if I needed to do it again in a different size, or if it didn't fit the finishing that they had, I could find something else to do. So I just grabbed one of my pieces from Color and Cotton and got started. And but she did message me back. I think it was Beth that messaged me back, and she told me that yes, it's okay, and you're getting that fabric. One of the fabrics you ordered is for it, and it was Vintage Country Mocha, which I had almost stitched on, but I didn't have, I wasn't sure I'd have enough to do another piece on it. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, I just, like I said, I used the one from Color and Cotton, and then this came like the next day, and it was all of the fabric, and I think, because mail is so slow around here, it is up here. I got an RSVP for a wedding yesterday, and so yesterday was the 14th that I got it, and it said that please RSVP by September 10th, and the wedding date is the 25th. So I got it 4 days after you were supposed to have RSVP'd, and just 11 days before the wedding. Now, in their defense, I'm sure they just sent it out, you know, a week and a half ago, maybe. They had to reschedule their wedding because the bride got COVID, and some of her family members did, and then there were all those fires in California, so the place where the venue they were holding it, they couldn't do because of the fires. So in their defense, they had the first one sent out in plenty of time. This trying it again was, yeah, it takes longer for all the mail to get up here. Sorry, squirrel again. So all of these fabrics, and I think there's extra. I think I did each because I wasn't sure what pattern or what I'd want to stitch on, whether I wanted to stitch on linen or Aida. And so I got both, but she did message me back and say, you're getting it. It's the small piece you're getting if you got the Aida, and otherwise you cut in the small piece, because I just didn't know what kind of border. I was just overthinking it. But like I said, even though I was overthinking it, I just jumped right in. I used what I had. I didn't have all the colors. I didn't want to head into town to the, you know, like 20-30 minutes away to go get DMC. I thought I can just look at the picture and I bet I can kind of figure this out. And so I used what I had in stash, and that is in a previous video, and I'm sure I'll be sharing it again once we finish it with Friendstitch. So it is this weekend. The other thing I got, and I shared this before, but I just want to put this up here because I got my t-shirt. So I got my t-shirt, I got my fabric, I got my box. Okay, so it came like this. Actually, it came like this. Now, I try to be a rule follower. Ours are hard for me. Try to be a rule follower. However, when you have a piece of sticker sticking up, doesn't it make you just want to pull it up? Okay, so the girls who put this together, the women, they are so smart. They put 2 stickers on here, and no peeking to kind of remind me. Oh, because I can't tell you how many times I've gone by and seen this on the table and go, oh, wait, no, this is the, I'm not supposed to look at. So I put it in here on the futon. And then I came in here to go through something. I think I was looking for thread for something to see if I had any of those threads that weren't matching. And I saw this and it was like this, because it just, the sticky isn't quite working on here. So it just, as it sits there, it just kind of flops up, and I'm like, oh, what's this? Oh, wait, no, that's no peeking. So you can see I didn't peek yet. I mean, at this point I can make it to Saturday, but we get to open this box together. We get to see what the other pattern is. We get to see, there might be 2 patterns. Are there 3 total? Can't remember. But I get to be with all the other stitchers that are on, and a lot more from, I was seeing, because they're saying there's a Facebook group and you can say where you're from, and there's several from Washington State. So if y'all are from Washington State and you see this, maybe we just need to gather in person. Somebody needs to open a Needleworks store like between Seattle and Tacoma, or on Vashon Island, or someplace, you know, because I wouldn't mind traveling that way. But we do have acorns and threads south of here, about 80 miles south of here. Anyways, we'll get to see the designers and meet them and get to know them a little more. I wasn't able to join in the Zoom practice call. I wish I could have. Just to kind of meet them and learn what I'm supposed to know. But we were traveling through the covered bridges and no cell phone service, so it's fine. I had fun last weekend, but I did miss out. That was the other thing that was going on September 11th. It's just a lot. After not having much for so long, it's a lot. But you can tell my excitement, and that's why I decided I wanted to do this. So I told my family I couldn't make that meeting. It's down in California, and I live up here in Washington, and you know, it wasn't gonna work, and another cousin couldn't make it, so they rescheduled it. So that's rescheduled for the 25th. So if I do go down, it's a long way to travel. I can't wear a mask without having asthma attacks, so I can't fly yet to be able to go that way. So I'm gonna have to drive, and it's a long way to drive by myself. So I'll be tired. I won't be stitching in the car, obviously, if I'm driving. I'm gonna see if my son maybe will go with me, and if not, it'd be fine. I might skip the week after that because I'll be so tired when I get back. That's a lot to do on your own. But this weekend is Friendstitch, and that's why I was saying I might film a video next week because I want to share with you all that was in here and all that I discovered. And it should really kick me into stitching gear. I am wanting to stitch more, but we just kind of have to finish up. September is like end of summer, beginning of fall, kind of mixed in together, and there just seems to be a lot of things going on, a lot of activities, meetings are happening again, and when the weather gets, and it's been so sunny, it's been so beautiful here, but when the weather changes, and I love the change in the weather, I love it being colder, I love it when it rains, unless I'm having to haul in groceries. So I'm looking forward to fall and getting more into stitching and more into sewing and quilting, which I do in the fall. But in the meantime, just getting through this because it's fun. There's fun things going on. There's exciting things going on. And there's stitching happening. So with that, I will say goodbye. I will see you either next week or the week after. I hope you have a fantastic week. If you are going to Friendstitch, please let me know down below. If you have a suggestion for either a place to purchase Garden Gate from Gentle Arts or old brick from Gentle Arts, or if you know colors that are close to that from someplace different. Weeks Dye Works maybe. I think I found a close Weeks Dye Works match to that Garden Gate, but I don't know what old brick really looked like. So if you have any suggestions, or if you like one of those two, Tennessee Red Clay or I think Colonial Rose, if you liked one of those in place of old brick, please just let me know down below. And definitely let me know if you are in the AM or PM, if you are in the Friendstitch, and I will look for you on the Facebook group. With that, I'm gonna say goodbye, happy stitching, and I hope you just have a fabulous week or two until we meet again. Bye.